100.6 FM, Radio Live Drive with Duncan Garner. Proudly brought to you by Bailey's. Thinking of selling your property? Think Bailey's Real Estate.
All right, just coming up 4 minutes to 4. Good to have your company this afternoon. Talking apprenticeships earlier on. What do you think? Has the Prime Minister done enough? 14,000 new apprenticeships over the next 5 years. Want your views? 3920 Garner at radiolive.co.nz. To rugby we go, and Canada and the United States are a step closer to inclusion in an expanded Super Rugby competition in 2016. Both sides have now been included in the Pacific Nations Cup this year. So it means that potentially down the track, South Africa, Australia and New Zealand will have to decide whether or not to expand the Super competition in 2016. And that will be decided when the next broadcast deal is all announced. Nigel Melville is the CEO and President of US Rugby and joins us now. Nigel, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, how are you doing?
Very well, sir, very well. And I'm quite excited about this. I'm a bit of a rugby man. Do you think this might actually happen, that you could get a United States side into Super Rugby in 2016?
Well, we presented to Super Rugby about 4 or 5 years ago, and we thought that the last TV deal came up, it would be a good expansion plan for them, would be to move into some kind of Pacific Rim conference or move into the US in some way or into North America. Great broadcast opportunities, probably sponsorship opportunities to grow the game, and a chance for us to show some great rugby in the US. So it probably would have worked, but nothing happened alas at that time. So we now read that maybe they're seeing the error of their ways and thinking of coming our way.
I know they're very difficult people to break into at times, a deal between South Africa, Australia and New Zealand, of course. But have you got the depth, do you think, in American rugby, or would inclusion in such a competition like this mean that you could pull some money strings and buy good players?
Well, when we originally talked, we talked about having a nucleus of American players, North American players, and then bringing in some players who want to play outside New Zealand and don't want to go to Europe, maybe some that want to play outside South Africa and Australia, and maybe that's an opportunity for them to boost the team. But I think as the years have gone on, we've actually started to develop our own players and started to develop a stronger group of players who probably in 3 or 4 years' time are going to be extremely strong. So I think it'll be a combination of the two to start with, and then maybe just all Americans going forward.
It's pretty important that you perform well in the Pacific Nations Cup, I would have thought, because that's really a bit of a sort of a training ground whether or not you'd be competitive in Super 15, because it is an enormously brutal competition, Super Rugby.
Yeah, I think the Eagles have improved in the last few years, and I think we've got a young team, we've got a young American coach, and they're going to do well in Europe during November, and we think that they'll do well when they go into the Pacific Nations Cup, and we're looking forward to it.
Right, no, I certainly appreciate your time. Nigel Melville, CEO and President of US Rugby. So big news, really. America looking at potentially being in the Super 15 competition from 2016. Would they be up to it? I don't know. American rugby sort of went okay for a while and then flattened off, didn't it? A bit like Japan, a bit like Italy, more competitive, I suppose. But it would be interesting. Is it too much rugby, though? I mean, these guys are playing so much. It would mean travelling to South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, America. I bet you the thing in the way of this will be travel.